It's a wonderful day in West Virginia. Welcome to the Daily 304 Innovators and Entrepreneurs feature. Here at the Daily 304, we are committed to sharing the wealth, beauty, opportunity, and innovation that's here in wonderful, almost heaven, West Virginia. Today we are joined by Brenda Casabona. She's the owner of Defluri's Fine Chocolates in Martinsburg, almost heaven, West Virginia. A lot has changed since they opened their doors in 1985, but one thing that persists, the care they put into the product. Brenda Casabona, thank you so much for being here on the Daily 304.
Thank you. It's great to be here, and thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Talk a little bit with us about when you moved here and how you decided to take a chance on West Virginia and what drew you to this market.
I actually started the business in 1985 in the DC area. And mid-90s, we were getting a little frustrated with the congestion in the area. It was very difficult to get employees. And we thought, gee, we can move this business someplace else. So where do we want to move? Because we were looking for an environment that not only was conducive for the business, but that we personally liked. We had gotten over to Winchester, looked at some property there, and it didn't have the appropriate utilities, and that agent passed our name on to an agent here in Martinsburg who called and said, well, have you considered Martinsburg? And I have to be honest, I said, well, now where is Martinsburg? And because, you know, if you're from DC, people like to think, well, you're worldview, but you're really provincial. You're kind of locked into DC. So I looked at the map and I thought, well, okay, Martinsburg is straight up 81 for Winchester. You've got the same logistics in terms of getting ingredients in. You have access to the same suppliers. You can get your product out easily. So we said, okay, fine, let's go look. The layout of the building was great for candy production. So we visited a number of times, I'm going to say 4 or 5 times, and it was a great community. It really had a nice community feel. It sort of has a small town feel, but it has also a big city aspect of it in that you have very close access to DC and other major metro areas if you want to go visit or do those sorts of things. But you also have a very community feel here. And that's what that's why we chose it.
That's something we're proud of here in West Virginia, and we're delighted that you now can call yourself a West Virginian and that you moved your outstanding business here. You can see the machinery and the caramel cutting table in the back. It's making me hungry. Right. Hey, so tell me a little bit about what makes your product, your chocolates and your candies different than what I would find just on a regular convenience store shelf.
So the ingredients and the production processes would be, I would say, what set our product apart from what you would find in a typical large store, convenience store. And also, if you come into our store or if you get some product shipped from us, it's fresh. I mean, it's very fresh. You walk into the store, it's in the case, you select it, and out you go.
And then it's wonderful. Higher quality ingredients, time, a smaller scale leads to a better quality, higher, a different experience when we're eating the chocolates that are coming from you all than it may be a Hershey bar or maybe a...
Exactly.
Okay. Well, talk to me a little bit about the Economic Development Office here in West Virginia and how they helped you or connected you with resources and different things that have assisted you on that journey of, because obviously you've refined and modernized the facility that's behind you.
The development office, when we were looking into exporting, they were very helpful with the Department of Ag, because the Department of Ag does a lot of promotion and assistance to food manufacturers and agricultural producers in West Virginia. And they teamed up. We did some trade shows in Canada. The development office did a lot of assistance on that. And so we were able to connect with buyers. I found both departments, and really all the departments of West Virginia that we have dealt with, very, very helpful and very proactive for businesses and consumers.
Excellent. Outstanding way to expand markets, and love all the support that's there for small businesses in West Virginia. A part of our show here is that we ask small business owners like yourself, successful folks, that if they could share a piece of advice that would help our viewers and our listeners as they're trying to start their businesses or improve their businesses or expand their businesses, what piece of advice would you give to folks in West Virginia about being successful here and keeping going and reaching their goals with their business?
Okay, I think you really have to think out your business idea. Just because somebody looks at you and says, that sounds pretty stupid, I would not stop at that. I would really do some research. See if you think there's a demand for your product or your idea, and think through it very carefully in terms of the costs involved, the time commitment involved, the resources that you're going to need with respect to personnel, etc. And if you think it's viable, go for it. Keep in mind that a business is not a job that you leave. It's not a 9-to-5 job and you go home and you leave it. It is a part of your life, and you have to be willing to devote that time and that effort and that commitment. But there are a lot of rewards.
Well, Brenda, thank you for that advice and doing due diligence and changing and pivoting when needed. It's great advice. Obviously, it's working for you and your delicious company and the way that you've served and found new export markets and now pivoting to different types of markets that you're going to keep growing here in West Virginia. Tell our viewers and listeners, how can they get a hold of you, and how can we find your product, and how can we experience those higher quality, those delicious tastes that we're going to have when we get your chocolates to sample?
You don't have to travel to Martinsburg, but the best selection is obviously in Martinsburg, because if you come into our store in Martinsburg, you come in and we have 18 feet of candy cases that, hundreds of different chocolates that you can choose from. I mean, you can pick whatever pieces you want. If you are not in Martinsburg or traveling through, then you would have to buy from our website. There's a huge selection that you can choose from, and we just ship it out.
So let's hit the road, West Virginia, or check you out on the website and order the things that are available for shipping. Brenda, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your time and your company and your commitment to West Virginia and the delicious things that you create for us.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for watching. Be sure to follow us on all our social media channels at The Daily 304. You can also stay up to date with all the great things happening in beautiful Almost Heaven, West Virginia by heading on over to wv.gov/daily304. We'll see you again next time.